Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the studio. I did not realize my mic was already on. So you may have heard me and Kiba. But good afternoon. Hey, Underground. Thank you for the resub. Shoot. Well, last weekend we were at Maryland, so we are back from Maryland. This weekend coming up, we're going to be at the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber, which is a much smaller show, but I'll be here. Daniel's doing the other one. Ariana, hello. Welcome, welcome. This is Kiba, and he is purring extremely loudly. And let's not forget Minnie. I knew that's what you would do. It's a little jingly bell, felted jingly bell. supposed to have catnip in it. But this is a game she plays. I'm gonna knock something off and the human's gonna bring it back to me. Now you're gonna throw it at me? Oh no, now it's gonna be gone forever. I think it's gonna sit over here. I feel like this was a fun game. But we have been making up to the cats. I bring them gifts and they just throw them away. But I'm finally going to be getting back to work. I am going to do a little bit of throwing today. I've been doing a little bit of glazing, and we've been shipping a lot of stuff out and unpacking and repacking, and I've not really been back before now because because Maryland, when we were at Maryland, it was raining, and before that we had sinus problems, but we've had like sinus infections really bad. And last Wednesday, my mother had a hip replacement, so I went and stayed with her a couple of days to help out. It was mostly me chasing her around with her walker, telling her to please use the walker, but you know. Has anybody had, known anybody that's had a hip replacement in the last couple of years? It is amazing. Like, they had her up and walking, within an hour of her waking up after surgery. It was ridiculous. We did not have to cross any bridges. We did not. We were actually, so we were outside of Baltimore, but not on the side of Baltimore that is now missing a bridge. Yeah. But no, after a major surgery, I'm still in shock of how easy it has been for her to recover from it. It's been amazing. And the same thing, my aunt had a knee replacement a few years ago too, and it's done, or they both had them done basically with a robot. And so they did not have to cut through any muscle. They basically just stretch things to get to the bone, replace it, and go. So the recovery time is just much easier, so I'm still in awe of it. Strawberry tea, hello. Oh no, Kiba says I've got a lot of catching up to do because I missed a lot of days of kitty cuddles. Thank you, Strawberry. I even got a nibble on that one. Kiba is He's actually been a little bit aggravated with me, quite a bit aggravated, because I've been having to give him medicine. He's got a UTI that we're trying to get cleared up. And so now it's got to the point that in the mornings he'll run from me because he knows I'm going to give him his medicine, so I feel bad. But he still forgives me. I've taken to giving his medicine and then feeding him. So at least he gets a bit of a reward. All right, buddy. There is all kinds of cat hair on this wheel. I think you've been laying here a bit while I've been gone, huh? Like, if I lay on the wheel, she'll come back? Oh no, I feel a plop coming on. Yep. You come feed. Wouldn't you like? Wouldn't you like to get into one of your mini cat beds over here, huh? What about it, buddy? That's got to be a lot more comfy than here on the wheel. Wonder Hamster, you want this job, yes. Yeah, buddy. I do want to make some things today. I want to do some of the smaller mugs, the 10-ounce mugs. Whoops. Oh, we've got Angry Tail going because I stopped petting him. Buddy, it's not a glaze day. See, when it's a glaze day, he can sit here and he thinks he's getting away with something, and and so he's just happy as he can be, but I'm about to make this wet, and he does not like that at all. He does not touch the wheel when it's wet. The cat bed doesn't come with the personal massage. True, true. Uncomfortable bed, butt massage. That's... The cat's comfort forms an inverted ratio with my convenience, yes. See if I can annoy him enough to get up. Nope, annoying just comes with bites. I managed to annoy him, but it didn't make him get up. Buddy. Wonder Hamster, have you been looking at Gov Deals again? Do I need to get a shovel? That probably needs some explanation. Like, Gov Deals is a government surplus website, and you can go and you can buy a pallet of whatever you want for like $10, and then but you think you've got to go pick it up. And we find ourselves like, oh, I'll place a bid on this just to watch it. Oh, I won. And so whenever we sometimes. After we win something like that and we have to go pick it up, Daniel says, next time I look at Gov Deals, just hit me with a shovel. And so that's the explanation. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but you want to sell tumblers. Selling tumblers is not the issue. It's what are you wanting to buy? Alright, buddy. Come on. I don't know why I'm talking to him. He can't hear. Come on. Nope. No, you gotta stay over there. There you go. I'll even fill it up for you. You want to sell tumblers at wholesale. What type of tumblers? Like custom ones? You just want one teeny tiny little laser, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be an inexpensive laser. Underground, I guess I don't get the reference to that. If you want to sell tumblers, add lead. Alright, so this is this is 12 ounces of clay, and it's going to be used to make my smallest mug. You want to buy tumblers at wholesale. Okay, I'm with you. And you want to buy a laser. Why don't we, like, borrow a laser first and see how well they sell? Oh, Stanley cups have been found to have lead in them. Well, like a harmful amount of lead because they're manufactured overseas. Do you have a way to get down? I don't have a way to get down. Yeah, I don't think you have a way to get down. We've taken away your steps. Oh, he's got it. Okay, he did. He has one. They have a lead coating in the vacuum chamber. Is it one of those things where it's like people are never going to come in contact with that lead, or is it just a gimmick or a scare tactic, or it's probably more harmful for the actual like people working with the machinery? What does lead do for that? I guess it's a powder coating type thing to make it non-stick or something. To start a scrap bag. And I'll measure this one and then kind of set my guide. Okay. Okay. Got that set up. Let's get this one off of here and start on my next one. I'm going to try to make at least 40 of these to take care of some of my orders and then a little bit extra. Now I need to see how many tankards I need. What am I doing? Setting this one back down. I hear a Meanie somewhere. I hear her little jingly bell. Hey, Meanie. It is everybody's nap time. Underground, I think you just sent Daniel down another rabbit hole. Come on, Meanie. I filled up her table and I've blocked her route. Oh, those are very slow. Nope, that one needs to be taller. There she is. Hey, Calamity, you didn't know we did Facebook too? Yes. Well, we are multi-streaming right now. We are on Facebook. Besides Twitch, we're on Facebook and YouTube and Kick. So welcome, everybody, from wherever you are viewing. Good afternoon. And happy Tuesday. I am trying to get back into the groove of things. Making some more mugs, trying to make it muggy in here, though I really don't have to try very hard today. We've already had some rain, and we're about to get some more. You know, I say when we were at the Maryland show, which is where we were last weekend, the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. You know, I always I make muggy jokes in here, and say I never get tired of that joke. Daniel had a really good tagline. He did, because it was a fiber show, so there was sheep and wool and yarn everywhere, and he would say to people, We're not here to fleece you. We just want to mug you today. And that always made me chuckle. Oh, you should be making things for a show this weekend. Where are you going to be? I keep forgetting I put the clay over here. Grown. You always loved telling people that you used to launder money. You're doing a farmer's market, yeah. We did a monthly, or not monthly, but like a weekly farmer's market a couple of years ago before we got our retail shop. That's actually how we discovered that there was such a good tourist economy in Nashville. Was by doing the farmer's markets down there. We are pot dealers, yes. The other line Daniel always says at every show is, how can we mug you today? You'd get the brand new ones from the bank and throw the in the washer and dryer to break them up so it'd be easier to use. That's a good idea. Because this last time we got a fresh pack of ones that had never been used before. I don't think we actually opened them up. I think we still have them. That might be a good thing to do. So I too can say I've laundered money. Combs and brushes. That's gonna make a racket. It rained the entire time we were up there. Like we set up okay, but it was still kind of soggy. We set up when it was dry, but it started raining early Saturday morning, and it didn't stop until like late Sunday, really, or maybe mid-Sunday. We had a little bit of dryness on Sunday, but it was still soggy. I lost a shoe. The sole of my my boots just came off. I've had those boots for at least 13 years now. They served me well. Hey, Cade, good afternoon. Marty's. It's fun to give $2 bills and other funny money as change. They always remember you then. Yeah, that's funny because at when I went to the bank one day to get change, like I was asking for different. I needed ones, and they're like, "Do you need any $2 bills?" I'm like, "No." I don't think I did. Why? They're like, we had to, at Christmas time, they have people that wanted $2 bills. And so they had to order like 1,000 of them at a time to get any of them. So we got all these $2 bills. We gotta move them. Resolable? No, they're gone. Well, it probably was not worth resoling them because like the tread was gone anyway. I mean, they are 13-year-old boots. I just threw them away. I was able to walk on them for the show. It's like I wasn't like exposing my socks or anything. The bottom layer of the sole came off, so I was just slightly uneven. I thought about it though. I'm like, I could just glue this back together, but it's probably time to get a new one. They were my Timberland steel-toed boots that I'd gotten when I still worked at the factory. One of the last pairs I got. If I got another pair, it'd probably still be Timberlands, and I'd probably go with like a composite toe instead of a steel toe to make them lighter. So I think I liked them so much because the steel toe work boots and stuff have a wider toe bed. But we've got the show we're doing this week is another fiber festival, so we haven't really unpacked. We've reorganized a little bit, but after this weekend, we'll probably empty everything out of the shelves and out of the boxes and put everything online. And Wonder Hamster, I think some of these boxes are going to be a bit ripe after being packed up in the rain and left in the van for 2 weeks. Might be a good idea to take a mask with you. Thinking about going and just like opening up the van and opening up all the boxes in there and letting them air out. The uppers are still good. They could have a new Vibram soles welted on. Hadn't thought about that. Well, what are these new soles? Are they something different or just what they're called? Hey, Badger, yeah, I always forget because I can see all the chats in one place because we're using Restream, which brings all, you know, has all the comments in one section. Forget that everybody else can't see them. So Wonder Hamster, the boxes are not like soaked, but the bubbles, some of them, and some of them, the bubbles are a little bit wet, just because it was wet when we packed them up. But they're not soaked. No, they're not soaked. The plywood, I've sprayed down with vinegar and tried to wipe down because there was some mold on them. But you can't help it. We used it as flooring, and it's got wet. I wasn't sure if you would need that. Would you need the plywood? Maybe a couple pieces to get the get everything out? Oh, okay. They just make the soles. No, I made the call to just chuck the old shoes because they were 13 years old and I knew I probably wouldn't actually fix them. And I only used them like... Yeah, sometimes I would wear them seasonally, but usually I'd get them out for a show when I know we're doing a lot of loading and unloading because they were steel toes. Crimson Sheep! Whoa! Thank you for the 102 months! Oh, that sounds so impressive. It is impressive. That just sounds like such a long time. Thank you very much. And good afternoon. Okay, done with those. Oh, no, whew. Almost knocked a mug off. Put that back over there. I've got like a glaze load's worth of stuff here on the table so that I can load it up tonight. Whoa, what happened here? There's a Looney Loomworks raid. Hey, everybody. Thank you for the raid. Hey, Cinderpuffs. And Black Wolf Magic, thank you for the resub. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. How are y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. It has been a while. We've been away at shows. We had our Maryland Sheep and Wool show. And then we've got another one this weekend. Though I am going to be here. Daniel will be at the one this weekend. And he is on the mend. Not completely there from his sinus infection, but he's getting there. 'Tis the season. Been wondering how we've been with the weather rolling through. We have been very, very fortunate here, but thank you for asking. We haven't had any like there have been tornadoes all around us, but not specifically where we are. But we've had a lot of warnings, and the tornado sirens have gone off a few times. So it's been in our county. What was it, on Wednesday? We had hail. That's the biggest hail I have ever seen personally in my life. It was like a quarter-sized hail. It was enough to ding up the cars. But that was down in Tennessee, because that's where I was at the time. It was kind of funny. It didn't last that long. It was only for about a half hour, but it was the exact time we were getting my mother out of the hospital from having a hip replacement. And it was like my father pulled his truck around to like the exiting area, so like we were getting her into the truck, and they were going to drive me over to my car because it had just started raining. And by the time we got to my car, it was hailing, and it sounded like somebody was throwing rocks at my car. They said there might have been hail there too, but you didn't see it. Yeah, and it depended on where you were in the county, like how much you got. Or we're frozen, aren't we? Let me do this. And I don't know how long we've been frozen. I'm sorry. Here we go. You can tell Minnie has moved so much. My car is okay. I was in the journey, so it was, you know. Even if it had gotten like ping pong sized hail, the journey doesn't really count anymore. No, it was like I had maybe little like pinky fingernail size like dents, a few in the hood, but I had to look for them. Because Daddy had me go look for them, because like we were driving home in his brand new truck, and he had me like, when he heard that the dealerships and all had like hail damage on almost every car, he's like, hey, go check on our vehicles. Yeah, check on the truck. Yeah, check your car too, but check on the truck. But he didn't have any on his, and I think it was because we were driving, we were moving, and not just sitting still. So be on the lookout for some hail damage sales. Oh, really, Black Wolf? Your office has been closed since Friday, and you're not sure when it will be open? Is that because of the storms? You've had tornadoes, so they were closed. Gotcha. Yeah, it rained the entirety of Maryland, and it feels like it hasn't really stopped since then, and just a little bit every day sometimes. And it's going to be raining again this weekend for the show, but at least we're sheltered inside of a barn area, so at least there's that. I say we, as in the royal we. Daniel will be there. I will be here, sheltered in the studio with the cats. I heard it ding. The main power pole got destroyed. Oh no. But it's a lower priority since you still have residential areas of town out of power. Yes, we found that out. Like, so last year in March, in Nashville had bad storms that knocked out most of the power in Nashville. And it was the first weekend we were going to be open at the shop. It was the very first weekend. And so they did not get the power back to like some of the businesses until the following week, because the priority was to the hospitals and the residential areas. I get that, but we were livid. Well, we had lightning struck the Piggly Wiggly. It was here in town. There was a tree in the parking lot that got struck. But that was about a week ago. Yeah. But that is extremely loud. Like I've been in the area when like a tree's been struck by lightning. So we have 10 pieces now. Whoa, you had a strike the other week at the house behind yours? Yeah, you thought bombs were falling? Yes, it's so loud. You've got a clip from your cameras. Ooh. Oh, I miscounted. I've got a lot more than that. I've got 14 now. I like it when the error is in my favor. Vampire Ice Queen, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 90 months. And guys, thank you for so much for hanging out with us for so long. Or I guess I should say thank you for supporting the kitties for so long. but it does feel good to have my hands back in clay again. Joyful Alive, thank you for the follow. What is this, Smith Clay? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you for the 101 months. It's like Dalmatians even. So you've been with us almost since the very beginning. Oh no, Smith Clay, I didn't see it. But that doesn't mean it didn't come in. That just means I didn't check my email. Since the second week. Oh, you missed out on the first badge by just a few. Well, see, at that point, Smith Clay was too busy streaming himself. There it is. I think I can even ship that one out. I think I have one of those. And White, thank you for the follow. Oh, Smith Clay, that's awesome. Yeah, your wife just started crocheting. I heard something. Did we freeze again? Yes. Woo! Okay. We've got 22 of these so far, and I want to do around 40 of them. Then I gotta see how many tankards I need. Nope. They're much better. I've got my guide set up here in OBS so I can see how tall these are. Almost feels a little bit like cheating. $24. It's augmented reality. I'm basically in the metaverse, yeah. I prefer to just call it sorcery. Earthbending. Loud Turtle, thank you for the follow. I don't know why my hair feels like it's falling on down on this side when I'm constantly leaning to this side. I think it started off a bit more centered. I think it's time to get it all chopped off. And we have 30. Come on, stay with me now. Sometimes these smaller pieces are easier to fix and control, and sometimes, but they're just like so small that they just rip apart. I think this one will be okay. Has anybody got a good book series you're reading right now? I have been re-listening to the Rivers of London series by Ben Aronovich. And they're good. It's been a little while since I've read them, and I'd forgotten a lot, so. And I started rereading it because I have access now to like the rest of the series. So I'm going back and reading it in order with all the short stories and stuff together. It's one of those series where I think I like I don't necessarily like the main character, but I like all the other characters in the world building around it. But it's a urban fantasy series. So this one, should it decide to be a mug, will be 35. Wibbly wobbly. Minnie, keeping up with us all here is such a hard job, isn't it? Apparently Minnie was about to be picked up for being a stray, even with a collar, even with her air tag on her. One of my work neighbors, apparently somebody had just started working there, and I was outside with Minnie one day, and she's like, "Oh, you know who this cat belongs to?" I'm like, "Yes, me." She's like, "She's so friendly. She just," I was, keep meaning to make a call to see if anybody knows why such a friendly cat is just out here. I'm like, well, that's because she lives here. Like, you keep your thieving hands off my cat. Frog, no, Minnie's a girl. She was a stray when she walked in here. She just walked in the back door and decided she was going to stay. I'm talking about you. But she also has some explaining to do, because when we've had a long-haired black cat coming up and trying to come in the back door and just hanging around a lot, and I'm like, I don't know if this is somebody's cat. But I know we've got an ad starting, so I'll pause my story. Good time to hydrate. I haven't been doing that. She's like, you know better than that. Whew, sorry guys, sorry. No, again, turning it doesn't do anything because I've got the mic on, but I'm sorry. Whew. Hopefully everybody was still in ads. Thank you, Crimson Sheep. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, so we've had a black long-haired cat just hanging out behind the studio, and I wasn't sure if it was anybody, like a local cat or stray cat, or if it was, hungry or whatnot. Wouldn't let us come anywhere near it. Didn't want to be around us. But I think it was trying to make friends with the other cats. But at first I didn't know if it was trying to attack my cats or being aggressive or what. But Minnie, she was the aggressor. I named her the defender of the realm because she would chase it away. I had to go chasing after her to get her to come back. She's like, She's like, how dare you think you can just walk into a place like that? And But come to find out, there's an apartment above our neighbor building, and it is her cat. They got a new cat, so now they have two. And the black cat's name is Onyx. And apparently Minnie knew all about him, and she just didn't want him coming over to visit, or coming over into her territory, because she apparently goes over there all the time and visits. But she does not extend the same welcome to him. Because they're like, oh yeah, we know Minnie. It's like, my daughter is best friends with Minnie. I'm like, oh really? Really? But yeah, she wants nothing to do with that cat. She chases him off, hisses at him, growls and everything. All right, so 2 more of these, of this shape. $39. Frogs, that make this look easy. It's like, yeah, you struggle with it, and I'm just churning them out. Well, how long have you been doing it? I've been doing this for over 20 years now. Though I can't say I've been doing it this well for 25 years. 20 years. It's been, I took my first pottery class in 2003. So there was a whole lot of ugly pots for a while. Once a week since October. I bet you're a little bit better than you were when you first started, though, huh? You're probably a whole lot better than when you first started, because Once you get the first couple steps down, then you can pretty much make whatever you want. But learning those first couple steps is sometimes a big hurdle. But also, like within the first year, when you start practicing and stuff, that's when I think you see the most rapid growth. See, you can make a cylinder pretty regular now. Some days it's really good, some days it's like a whole new animal, yes. And sometimes that can be because you're using different clays, or it's a different consistency of clay, or sometimes your head is just not in the right spot. That's one thing I noticed when working is, like, if I'm super distracted or worried or stressed out or whatever, like, I'm not getting anything done. So this is like most repetitive crafts, it's something that, like, it can help you, like, de-stress, because you have to force yourself to if you're going to concentrate on what you're doing. Now this is 2 of these together. It's going to be a tankard, and I've got to check and see how many of these I need, but I know I need at least 1. And I find that it's good to, well, I listen to audiobooks. That's why I get so much reading done, is because I listen to audiobooks when I'm working. Because sometimes the repetitive tasks, it's easy to let your mind wander, but if I can have, like, a book to chew on, then I'm not, like, worrying about the 10 other things I need to get done. It does help focus it a little bit. And it's why I think for me, throwing is the easiest thing to stream, mentally wise. Turn that down a little bit. Have I listened to the Iron Druid series? I have, yes. Or at least most of it. I may not have gotten all the way through it. I don't know if there's new books. See you tomorrow. Yeah, the narration is good, yes. Like I said, I'm re-listening to the Rivers of London now, which is, like, in that kind of family of audiobooks that's recommended if you like the Dresden Files, which I've read, and then I always see Iron Druid and Rivers of London kind of recommended in those kind of like urban fantasy genres. If you like one, you might like the other. Thundering outside or something? I was like, is it thunder or is it somebody moving a trash can? I don't know. Magic, yes. So I was just saying that earlier. It's like when reading the Rivers of London series, it's like I like the world building, and I'm like I don't hate the main character, but I just like all the other characters so much better, you know? But I will say Dresden gets better. He grows through the series, which is something that I like about it. And I remember like going back and rereading it once and thinking the same thing. It's like, man, he's such a jerk. Like, I just don't like him. Why did I like him at first? But it's like because he kind of like grows with the series, because he is very young when it starts out. Tankard, that's what I'm doing. Tankard. And you have to also remember that the series was written by a college student, so by a very young man at the time. Yes, he is definitely a flawed character. So if you take it in as context of the story, then it all works out. Woo woo woo. Right, it's not dead yet. It's not dead yet. I feel like books 1 and 2 of the Dresden Files are a lot of character development and introducing you to the world, and then book 3 kind of like starts on a lot more of the stories. That's what I remember about my first read through. I'm like, I'll read the first 3. Like the second one had a lot of the same feel as the first. I'm like, is this just going to be the same thing over and over again? And then the book 3 is like has a different feel. I think you're on 4 now. Yeah, I don't know. They all run together at this point. It's a little bit wonky, isn't it? I'll level it out later. Third one is, yeah, it's where you meet Michael. Yeah. He wasn't a... Is Michael a cop? Michael's not a cop. He's an archangel. The knight, yeah. Yeah, I can see why you thought of him as a copy. Let's see here. What do I need for tankers? Do I need more? I need 3 more. Okay. What are some of the other like series that I enjoy rereading? I've read Dresden a couple times. I enjoy one of my favorites is the Chronicles of St. Mary's. It's a adventure time travel thing, time travel stories. So it's adventure time travel, so it's also a lot of like historical fiction too. It's about time for you to reread the Cold Fire trilogy. Ooh, tell me about it. Cold Fire. I'll have to look at that one. Is it also magic and fantasy? We're talking about Cold Fire. Magic you drink with your left hand. So all the mugs you have are facing the wrong way. Oh no. The St. Mary's, so not as much magic, but and really the time travel, like they don't explain like how time travel works. Whenever someone tries to ask, they're just like, don't ask that question. It is much more in the adventure, very slightly sci-fi category. A little bit of romance too, but it's not the main plot. The very first book in the series is called Just One Damn Thing After Another. So also very humorous. Like that sets the tone for the books. It's like the adventure drama with just enough humor. Well, Jenny, hello. So, Cold Fire is kind of like fantasy magic setting. C.S. Friedman. I am doing well. How are you? One series that I wish I could find, like I think it's on Audible, but it's like 30 plus books long, and I'd like to find it kind of like purchase it as all together as one bundle, is it's called the Sister Fidelma like mystery series, and it's by Peter Tremaine, and it's set in pre-medieval, like I think like Dark Ages Ireland. I have to think about the exact time period and the exact dates. But anyway, they're extremely well written. And this type of thing where I would read the books. They were free on Audible for a little while for you to read, like the first few books, of course, and then you have to, they want to give you the first couple for free, and then you got to buy the rest. But the author is a Irish historian, so everything like in them is, fairly historically accurate. It's like all the things about that you read. I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be true. Oh, that is true. Oh no, Jenny, you had an accident at work Friday and nearly broke your wrist. So you're off of work for the next week for it to heal. But I'm just glad it's not broken. But that is still no fun. In your book, magic, the magic is referred to as the Fae, and it's the strongest just after an earthquake or or darkest nighttime. So if you're afraid of the dark, the Fae will make something for you to be afraid of. Ooh. No crocheting. Oh, that's the worst. You've got time off, but you can't use your hands. But the magic responds to your emotional state. Sounds like a lot of happy things happen in this book. Because aren't we all in a good, solid emotional state after an earthquake? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Okay. Oh, you have stacks of the Sword and Sorceress anthology books too. Most of them you haven't finished. I got into reading some of those and different short story compilations. So the Sword and Sorceress I know that those have been going on forever and ever. That was where Mercedes Lakey got her start, by submitting short stories to that, and she got a couple in there. And so one of the so it's not her first book published, but is it By the Sword? It's the Tarma and Kethri stories, if you're familiar with Mercedes Lakey. And I've got these on my mind now because I had given all of my Mercedes Lakey books to my niece, and she's gone through all of them. So we were talking about that book because one of them is like just all of the short stories she wrote put together. So it works as a novel, but it's kind of broken up and choppy because it was a bunch of short stories. Yeah, you love Mercedes Lakey, yes. But she has books that are a bit too deep into the feels, but you love her take on magic and mental abilities, yes. Oh, Jenny, why did I score an X at the bottom of one when you came in? It had an air bubble in it, and so I was popping the air bubble, and then smoothing it back out. Okay, I'll say it again after ads. All right, what do I need to do next? Let's see. I can do some of the small plant pots. Because we did sell some of those at Maryland. We had, people liked those. I do need to make a couple of yarn bowls. So do I need to make any? So far everything is a 24-ounce tankard. I don't need any big ones right now. Oh, thank you, Crimson Sheep. Okay, now we're back. Yeah, so I was just cutting into the bottom. I could feel there was an air bubble at the bottom, and so I was just popping an air bubble and then smoothing it back out. So I will make a couple of the small plant pots. I gotta remember what I'm making here. I'm not making anything tall. Oh, you didn't see Minnie? Yeah, she hasn't moved very much today. She's... Yeah, Kiba started the stream here, but he moved on when I stopped petting him. There was a book you read years ago that had an interesting magic system. Spellcasters were all male and had a blue star on their forehead. Their magic was tied to a secret. If you discovered their secret, you could steal their power. The main character's secret was that they were actually a woman. Do you remember what it was called? That's one of those for one of the Facebook groups that there in so many of the groups, like every other post is, hey, I remember reading this book. It had this, this, and this in it. Does anybody remember what it is? And usually somebody will know what it is. Need to post that description. I bet somebody would know. Oh, really? It is a Marion Zimmer Bradley? Oh, I don't remember that one. But I read a lot of hers that were like, Avalon based. Like, it was a whole prequel series that I remember reading. Well, hey, buddy. We have a Kiba. Come on. Here he is. Six. Well, so this is Kiba. He's our old man cat. Fluffy, yep. We haven't gone for a spin in a while, buddy. You ready? Here we go. We'll keep it slow. There we go. There's an almighty purr here. Now are you gonna go share the cat bed with Minnie? Oh, your 15-year-old cat passed a couple of years ago. This is a great kitty fix. Yes. Yes, please live vicariously through us. Kiba's 16. That's why we call him our old man. Louis Celine, hello! Thank you for the raid. Did Kiba bring you over? I bet he did. Yes, Kiba was spinning on the pottery wheel. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon. I've been throwing some mugs, but not against the wall. We've been making some mugs. We have we did 45. We got 47 pieces so far, so not too bad. Ooh, almost that ticklish spot. Almost. There we go. You have come to raid our stash? Well, you'll have to get past the guard kitties first. Shoot, the dandelions. He's just like a cat fur everywhere. Just everywhere. You gonna look at everybody in the camera? Right, I guess hopefully I've paid my tolls, taken my supervisor authorized cat petting break. Ready to go over here? There you go. Minnie's like, that's not the view I wanted. It's wet. You don't really want to, buddy. I was looking for one of my boards so I could make some spoon rests. Because we are getting low on spoon rests. You are not a spoon rest, buddy. Here you go. See, these are easy to do because they're just a little flat dish. And then put them on my board and I give them a little spout, which I'll do that on the wheel next time. You're going to give me a paw print in some of them? Did he take a little swipe at me a while ago? Or did I imagine it? And so for the spoon rest there, just they get a little lip like that. Are you ready to get down? Stretch! Oh, thank you. No, I've got things. I don't think they make noises anymore. But thank you for saying something. Thank you for the reminder. I need to stretch. He did put his paw out. Oh, thank you for the reminder. And now I got white cat hair everywhere. Why do I even bother wearing a black shirt? Between my white cats and the clay. I hear him over there crunching away. He's checking the status of his food bowl. Is the clay soft compared to others? Yes. So this is a stoneware clay, but it's a white firing stoneware. It's very smooth. It doesn't have any grog in it. So to feel of it, it feels like you're working with porcelain because it doesn't have any of the extra grit in it. But because it's a stoneware clay body, it is a bit more forgiving. It doesn't crack as much as porcelain does. And this is a local mix I use. I'm in Kentucky, so I use Kentucky Mudworks clay. They're a manufacturer up in, they manufacture their own clay, and they're a supply center and community studio up in Lexington, and then they have one in Louisville as well. Oh yeah, because the rim got doubled up, yeah. Looks like two plates together. Yeah, I always tell people when you're starting out, you probably want to have a clay body that's got a little bit of grit in it because the grit does make it more forgiving. But it is so satisfying to throw with a very smooth clay body. One day you'll check out a smooth clay. Yeah, so far it's been magnesium grog because it gives it good speckles, yes. And you can get this clay body with speckles. They have it, this one like I have it, they offer it with grog, so with a little bit more tooth to it, and then they offer it with speckles. And the good thing about these spoon rests is that I don't have to do anything else to them, just let them dry out. So I've got some handles made up, and I'll make some medallions for the mugs and put those together this evening, and then be back tomorrow to make some more. This is 12 ounces, so it's the same that I was using for the mugs. Whenever you make something flat, it always like seems like the clay doesn't go as far because you have to put leave more clay on the rim. Whereas with the mugs, for me, I can stretch it a little bit thinner and taller, and it'd be okay. Whereas if you make something too thin, that's like a little dish like this, it's going to crack. Whoa, another raid! Megan, thank you for the raid! Welcome, everybody! We've just been trying to make it muggy in here today. We've got, what did we say, 48 mugs? And then I'm working on some little spoon rests here. You were talking about wheel throwing a bunch today, so you had to come here. Thank you. Yeah, this is the first day I've been online in a while because we've been at shows and recovering from shows. We got another one this weekend. But what were you making today? Or was it a just chatting day? But yeah, if I didn't say it, this is 12 ounces of clay, to answer your question. This is 3/4 of a pound. And I know a lot of people would say that you use a whole lot more clay when you are working on a mug or a bowl or something, but I don't. I throw and trim on the wheel, so I don't do any trimming afterwards. So I'm not leaving a ton of clay at the bottom to be cut off. Oh, nice! You're fundraising for St. Jude, and you were working on a St. Jude plushie from the Play Live marketing that you got. Nice. Oh, I remember seeing that, Megan. Yeah, so it's all the artwork done by kids that they've turned into different things. That they is that what Quill Tony had printed on some fabric? There's a little green monster that a patient drew on the boxes and paperwork, so you're making it into a plushie. Nice. What would unicorn farts look like on top of white? So what I could do is I could make like the bottom of the mug white, and then I could layer like the gray and the pink and the white on top of that to make it look very similar. I think you might like get a lot more pink than otherwise, but we could try something like that. Yeah, if I just did pink over white, which is kind of what like unicorn farts is pink and white over gray, it would just be pink and white. But we could do the, I could layer, I'd do a solid white mug and then layer the gray and the pink on top of it. It might actually make the colors pop a little bit more instead of it being like the contrast to the dark. It might make it, shoo, goodness. But yeah, it might make the pink and the blues and the purples, like, you know, pop a little bit more. Thank you. Oh, I won't. Huh. I'm not changing out my tile. You're getting ideas. Yeah, we were doing some like questions. I was answering a lot of questions like that at the show because there was somebody that came and wanted to do a bunch of custom orders, but they wanted to be able to see everything all at once, which is a great idea. So they came and we put in some orders, but they're like, can we do this color and this color? What about this one and this one? Can we add red to this? So there's one experiment I'm going to be doing with like the poisoned apple, which is, you can see it right here. It's this one. It's the black and green. And they want to add red to it. So I think I told them what I'm going to try to do is like splatter some red drops on there, and I think they'll show up. I think the red will show up. It may like turn darker where it's green, but I think on top of the black it would show up. Because, I mean, a lot of the colors that I've got here now are ideas that you guys have had, because there's sometimes like I would not have thought to mix, you know, blue and pink, and that's become a very popular color, the cotton candy. Ooh. Even the unicorn was a like a custom color request, like, hey, what would happen if you did this? Oh, that is definitely thunder. Okay. You love the blue with the white top on the board. It's so clean and lovely. Yes, that one. And I always compare like the denim and white down here to the seafoam up here because of the white top. But they're both very, very like traditional colors for our area because they're colorants that are, especially the green. It's easy. It's one of the easier colors to get. It's got copper in it. Hey, Bug, good afternoon. I think I can fit one more on here if I scooch some of these down a little bit. Do I do multiple glaze firings, or do they always go on in one? So each piece goes through 2 firings. The first firing goes up to around 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. and that puts the clay through a chemical change, but it doesn't fully. Well, we gotta add break. I'll repeat it afterwards. But yeah, the first firing puts the clay through a chemical change so that it's no longer water soluble, so that I can then glaze them without it breaking, and then we glaze it and then fire it again. The second one goes up to 2232 degrees. And that's what melts the glaze and the clay a little bit, which is actually like the melting of the clay is actually what seals the piece and makes it hold water. It's not the glaze, it's the clay itself. Well, I filled up my board here. So it might be a good place to stop for the moment, since I'm going to have to make some medallions and stuff. I may have to put a fan on things since since it's raining and so humid. $30.89. Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for the 55 months. Thank you for all the kitty kibble. And good afternoon. So welcome everybody. Good afternoon. Bug, to answer your question, we were talking about like how many firings the pieces go through. They go through 2 different firings. So the first one is what we call a bisque, because it fires, I think the terminology comes from, it fired it hot as a biscuit, meaning a cookie. But the first one goes up to 1800 degrees, and that puts the clay through a chemical change so that it's no longer water soluble, so that we can, but it still leaves it porous enough that I can glaze it, but that way I can glaze things without breaking them. And then we fire them a second time to 2232 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what actually, melts the glaze, gives it that shiny appearance you're used to seeing on pottery, and it also melts the pot. Melts the clay just a little bit, and that's what is called vitrification, and that is what actually causes the clay to seal itself and lets it hold water. Not necessarily the glaze. Like technically, like the clay body I'm using doesn't need glaze to hold water. The glaze is just to aid in helping smooth everything out, so for ease of cleaning, but to hold water it doesn't need glaze. Glaze is just decorative. Colleen, whoa, hey, thank you for the resub. It's a good welcome to come back to. It's been a few weeks now. Hey, how are you doing? Vitrification, you got a new word, yes. That's the melting and sealing of a clay. Sealing of the clay so that it does not absorb water and it does not leak out. Now you'll notice like that a lot of flower pots are made of the lower fire, like red pots. Cause the flower pot is always usually like red or the orange clay. That's because the low fire clay bodies don't actually like fully vitrify, so they don't seal themselves. So they're always porous, which makes them perfect for a flower pot. Where do I have one back here still? Do y'all remember the bird bottles? Where'd it go? There it is. So I've actually, I finished my bird bottles and I sent the picture to the people who ordered them. So gotta see if they got back with me. But do y'all remember me talking about the bird bottles? So it is a something similar in size to a pitcher. And so you're gonna hang it on the wall outside of your house and put a stick in there for the birds to perch on, and they build it's a little birdhouse. And it is actually a very like old style of pot. I think they said I think it's on like Williamsburg, Virginia area. There've been like many of these excavated. So it was just a thing that people used, and they put them on their houses instead of just like on a tree, because the birds being right next to your house, they'd eat the bugs, so it was a form of pest control. When I told that to my father, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like when people would have chickens running underneath their house. It was, you know, that way they'd eat all the bugs and not termites." And so I made a bunch of these, and they wanted them specifically in all the bright colors. So I got to use like all of the colors on the other side of the chart. You know, all the pinks and yellows and reds and oranges. Colleen, we're doing good. We are recovering from Maryland. It was raining all the way through Maryland, and Daniel had a bad sinus infection before, and definitely had it afterwards. What are you doing? Where could Minnie be? Hey. She's like, it's treat time, Holman. It is treat time. Oop, okay. Yeah, you saw that it rained. Luckily, I mean, it was not a torrential downpour, so we didn't have a river running through the booth, but it was rain. It was rain the entire time until you got cold and wet, but people came out. People came out and it was good. We ended up, I think at Rhinebeck last year, it rained as well. So Daniel had some plywood that he put down. That was, we had to make a path for ourselves. That's the only way we could roll our displays over the grass. And so we ended up going and getting some more, and just like basically we made a floor for our entire booth, and we had a path outside of it because we were kind of on a hill. And so we staked down pieces of plywood. We got what is that, tape with it on it for like putting on steps. And we lined that. We had everything. We had a little path. We laid down decking. But we didn't have anybody fall in front of the booth this year. So it ended up, it was okay. It was a very good year for a rainy year. Frog, do we do fiber arts too? Yes. So the show that we did this not like 2 days ago, but like the previous weekend, was the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. That one and the Rhinebeck show are the two biggest that I know of in the country. So we do both of those. And I don't know if I have any of my yarn bowls here because they're all should be packed away. Actually, I have one here that needs to be refired. So yes, no, we do all kinds of fiber art stuff. We actually, at one point in time, like, these were the only things I was able to make because I was making so many of them. So this is one of my yarn bowls. This is in the sweet pea color. So yeah, we make yarn bowls, and we make a lot of the all of our mugs. We have an entire like section of just like yarny pun mugs if you look at the website. And so we take all of those. We take all of our fandom mugs and a lot of kind of accessories. We do the bowls in several different sizes. We do the yarn bells and the so the raccoon yarn bowls and the different animals. We took, did y'all see the rainbow sheep that we did? So if you look on our Instagram or Facebook, some of the pictures we posted were of the rainbow sheep coming out of the kiln. We sold one of them. We sold the red one. So I'm glad at least one of them sold. I made them with I knew that they might not sell. I knew that the different colored sheep might not sell, but we did sell one of them. I don't think we sold a regular sheep. We sold a bunch of the cats that we took because we make the animal yarn bowls. But yeah, no, we actually, so when I was first starting out, like, my local yarn shop saw our mugs and asked me to make them a yarn bowl. This is when I'd only been doing it a couple of years here in town. And so they asked me to make it, and I asked, well, what do you want me to make? And I made it to their specifications, and they sold them. So I made more of them, and they sold more of them. And so I started taking them to shows, and then found myself at a wholesale fiber art show selling that where different yarn shops would come to buy. And we took tons of orders for these things, and that's actually what got me to go full time at this. So for a while I was just making these things, and then we've slowly expanded with the help of Twitch. So yeah, we do all kinds of things. We go to yarn shows, and we go to gaming conventions. Which, and there is quite a bit of an overlap there. You wouldn't always think that, but there is quite a bit of an overlap. Like, several people that were at that show, like, also knew what Gen Con or Dragon Con were. I mean, I took some of the D&D mugs, and we sold quite a few of them, and took orders for more. Because I didn't take that many, because I didn't think that many of them would sell, but they did. So we're in all the crafty, geeky gaming genres. But I think that's about it. I'm gonna be firing a kiln tonight, so it'll be warm and toasty in here tomorrow. Maybe that'll help some of the pieces dry out, running the kiln. Yeah, I don't think we even took a picture of the booth this year because we like had everything inside. Where usually, because it's outside in a tent, we can spread out a little bit more. We're not confined to just our space, but we did this year, so we didn't take a picture of it because there wasn't much to see. And then we've got the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber this weekend. But I'll be here and Daniel will be at that one. Then after that, it's a gaming convention, Origins, in June. So we're not doing as many shows as we used to, but doing Origins and then Gen Con and then Dragon Con. And then Rhinebeck. But let's see who else is on. Oh yeah, and Colleen, while I've got you here, I got your order for your mug. Oh no, stop that. Did you want any like special font or just like the alphabet letters? Was it just the words and the name? Yeah, just the text. Okay. Hey, somebody else is doing some throwing. Dorian's Workshop. Let's go see what they're doing. So, Jenny, on a mug, can you have a personalized message on the mug? Yes, yes. So you can, if you go to the custom mug listing, then it will give you the option. You can pick which side you want it to be on, or you can put something on both sides. And what you can do, you can enter it into the text box if it's just words, or and then if you want a special font, just email me. Or if it's a graphic, also email me the graphic. So no, I do so much custom because that's part of what we like doing. I'm gonna start a raid here. We are gonna go see Dorian's Workshop. They're doing some throwing. Looks like they're throwing with a darker clay body. But let's go say hello. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I will be back. I will try not to take as big of a break in the next few weeks. I'm going to be back in production mode. So we're going to be making a lot of things because we're going to be getting ready for Origins as well as like restocking some stuff for our gallery. So I will see y'all later. Again, thank you so much for watching and have a good evening. We'll see y'all later. Here we go.